I asked myself, was I content with the world that I once cherished? Did it bring me to this darkened place to contemplate my perfect future? I will not stand nor utter words against this tide of hate, losing sight of what and who I was again. I'm so sorry if these seeming words I say press on you, that I've become anathema of my soul. I can say that you're losing me. I always try to keep myself tied to this world, though I know where this is leading. Please, no tears, no sympathy. I can say that you're losing me, but I must be that which I am, though I know where this could take me. No tears, no sympathy. Gracefully, respectfully, facing conflict deep inside myself, but here confined, losing control of what I could not change. Gracefully, respectfully, I ask you, please don't worry, not for me. Don't turn your back, don't turn away. I can say that you're losing me. I always try to keep myself tied to this world, though I know where this is leading. Please, no tears, no sympathy. I can say that you're losing me, but I must be that which I am, though I know where this could take me. No tears, no sympathy. To this world, though I know where this is leading. Please, no tears, no sympathy. I can say that you're losing me, but I must be that which I am, though I know where this could take me. No tears, no sympathy. take me. No tears, no sympathy.
Hello and welcome once again to the Zeero Xiron Free Magic Secret Show, where we're going to do a subdued episode today. It's going to be a good one, though. So, big magic secrets coming your way. So, there's this thing called the Tree of Life, We talk about it a lot on this show. And there's the different Sephiroth, the different stages of existence, the different power points, the different emanations, So we're just going to skip the usual explanation because at this point, I'm just assuming that you guys got a little bit of a understanding of the Tree of Life. And if you don't, I've put out a lot of videos on the topic. There's a playlist that just says Kabbalah playlist. You can go on that. And so we're talking about when it comes to the sphere of Hod, right? That the planet Mercury is assigned to. This represents our thoughts and the lightning fast communication of our mind. And that's why it's a mercurial nature, as they say. And, when you look at the Tree of Life, it goes up stages. You got Earth is the physical universe and your physical senses. The moon represents number 9. That's more like your subconscious. Number 8 is Mercury, right? And that's what we're talking about here. And that's like your thoughts and your intelligence and your ability to communicate. Sphere 7 is more of the exalted state of all those states combined. It's very emotional center, being like a champion. Then you climb up, go to number 6. That's the sun. That's like the heart, of everything. And then there's more after that, obviously. You can look into that if you just don't know. But we're talking about Mercury, the number 8, Hod. And, obviously all these things are essential components that have to work with each other. But, your thoughts and ability to communicate is such a major thing that when we read about the sphere, it's like we're very able to simply process what they mean by that. It's like the one sphere on the tree where it makes total sense immediately and you don't have to sit there studying it forever because you get the gist. The other spheres, it's sometimes a little bit more vague and you have to concentrate upon them pretty hard and pick them apart. But this one's pretty direct. So as always, the tree is existing in 4 worlds at the same time, right? So it's like there's 4 trees stacked on top of each other. And the same is true that each Sephira, there's 4 of them stacked on top of each other. So, each Sephira bubble is like a filing cabinet that you can pull out and there'd be 4 compartments, right? So the first is the physical world. The second is the angelic realm. The third is the archangelic realm. And the fourth would be like God's pure channel, basically. So we're just talking about the lowest level, right? The physical realm, which exists in Asiya, the world of Asiya, the world of expression, right? So, this is the starting point where you want to reflect and understand where you're going. So this comes from a book called The Ladder of Lights by William G. Gray, who's put out a ton of great books. Many, I think, are out of print, and you got to pay a pretty penny to get. But you'll find Ladder of Lights on, I do believe, it's Wiser Books. And you can find it on eBay for usually $12 or something. I highly recommend it. It's just really pulls apart the Sephiroth. It doesn't get deep into the past, right? It doesn't really talk about that much. It just concentrates on the Sephiroth. But so anyway, dum da dum 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 dum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Asiya, world of expression. Hermes, Mercury. The living matter resulting from Malkut and Yesod will not get very far in life by itself with no form of intelligence attached to it. Therefore, it learns by a process of reaction to its internal and external experiences how to preserve and improve its life and the conditions thereof. This is where the instructing influence of Hermes comes in, and why such an attribution has been made to Hode on its ascetic level. Mercury is the symbol of adaptability, and the very first thing a living creature learns is the hardest rule of all: adapt or die. We start adapting ourselves from the moment of our conception, and if we lose this ability, we lose our lives with it. Without the constant use of mercurial qualities, we have little hope of survival in a world like our present one. In bygone times, adaptive necessity was a great deal more marked than today, but it has shifted mainly to the mental and spiritual, rather than the material plane. Mercury is well known as the patron of cunning, and this is indeed a primal element for self-preservation which we should acquire at Hode. Low cunning has resulted in many of its exponents arriving at high places in human society. On higher levels, of course, this becomes skill, cultivated intelligence, initiative, caution, ambition, and anything to do with the enhancement of life through self-preservation and improvement. It was exactly this ability that enabled the human race to survive the terrible dangers from natural disasters, monsters, and other living hazards in the early stages of Earth life. Without the adaptability and quick-wittedness coming from Hode, we should never have stayed on this planet. Such instincts still keep us alive in the modern jungle, amid the monsters we have made ourselves to replace the ones we killed so long ago. Mercury stands for travel, commerce, the theater, profit-making, and education in a wide sense. It gives rapidity of thought linked with speech, enabling us to keep a monkey grip on the tree of life and outwit our slower and duller enemies. The early monsters perished on account of their feeble wits. Only adaptable animals are allowed continuance of life here. Learn and learn fast is the law. On higher levels, however, the Hermetic influence gives us incentive to seek knowledge for its own sake and to pass helpful information to other souls. Once a unit or group of humanity secures its own self-safety, it can afford to assist others along similar lines. This is the commencement of the Hermetic path on the tree, which brings initiation through instruction. Brains above brawn is a good Hermetic axiom, for Hermes signifies mind over matter. Whatever brings purely physical power under the control of intelligence is a Hermetic attribute, a subtle ruling the strong. That is the essence of Hermeticism. Nowadays, we simply call it psychology, or the sagacious scoring over the stupid. Methods of accomplishing this were taught in the ancient Hermetic initiations and still form part of the Hermetic tradition. We are still in the realm of rhythm with Mercury, up one moment and down the next. A mercurial temperament is too well known to need description. It is appropriate to Hode with its significance of splendor, renown, praise, and honor. Mercury Hermes is typically showy and flamboyant as to externals, though secretive and even misleading in itself. There is small regard for literal truth here, if this does not serve expediency. Like the schoolboy, Hermes might define a lie as an abomination in the sight of God, but a very present help in trouble. We must not forget Hermes as the special patron of tricksters and travelers. Not that untruth is a necessity in any Hermetic sense, far from it, but inventiveness is accounted a principal virtue. In the Olympian pantheon, Hermes' honored function was the messenger of the gods. Today, we tend to think of messengers as somewhat unimportant beings, but originally it was an exceptionally high and valued position. A messenger was sacrosanct as a bearer of intelligence. His badge of office was a staff with fluttering ribbons. These became in time the serpents of the Caduceus, and survive today as the flag of truce. In Celtic practice, a druid official was empowered to raise a ceremonial staff between combatants in the middle of a battle, and such was the respect for his authority that fighting ceased while a discussion took place. The impersonal hotline would be a modern equivalent. We are back to the Caduceus with twisted electrical wires taking the serpent's place. Hermes is doing his best for us. At Hode, we have reached a point where mind meets matter and brings the divine message so far into manifestation. Looking up the tree, the ascendant should realize here that there is more in, to, and behind things than appears on the surface. Instead of accepting the images of Yesod at their face value, the aspirant should be seeking their deeper meaning and looking for guidance on the way of inner illumination. Seekers ruled by intellect will take the Hermetic path, those amenable to emotions, the Orphic path, and those capable of sheer devotion, the middle mystic path, the hardest of all. Here we are concerned with the Hermetic outlook and insight. Besides being a messenger, Hermes was the patron of all secret dealings, acted as guide to the dead of the old otherworld, and was a good luck bringer and a god of roadways. All these items fit in the Hermetic tradition. Hermes Trismegistus was the thrice great instructor of the secret wisdom by which initiates of occult science obtained a good head start over everyone else and kept this advantage as long as they continued their studies. All part of the glory obtainable at Hode. An essential attribute of Hode is wit and humor stemming from an intellectual origin. Quick, flashing witticisms, needing intelligence to appreciate. Puns and puzzles are typical. Cryptograms and ciphers tie in here too, as challenges to an inquiring mind. The magical attributes of Hode are the written words of any occult text, and all rites and rituals come under the care of Hermes, who is supposed to teach their methods and use. This applies especially to temple working as distinct from open air or less formal operations. Dramatic rituals employing pageantry, such as Masonic workings and a closed lodge, are of the Hermetic type. The Hermetic path of initiation commencing at Hode is for those attempting to climb the tree with their minds rather than otherwise. We can roughly equate the first four Sephirot with the occult anatomy of a human being as follows. Malkut to the body, Hode to the mind, Netzah to the soul, and Yesod to the spirit. Once the spirit of life animates matter, mind and soul develop left and right as the horizontal arm of the circled cross. This picture is rather interesting because it shows the sequence of human evolution. First, the action of spirit on matter producing life, then an expansion through dimensions of experience resulting in mind, thinking, and soul, feeling. Mind and soul together may be considered as the two pillars between which man on the tree of life is trained to become immortal in his own right. Perhaps it is for this reason that the magical image of Hode is a hermaphrodite, the compromise of Hermes, Hode, and Aphrodite, Netzah. We have reached the stage on the tree now when we have to think in pairs. Mind and soul are really the opposite ends of the same stick, the value of each being its enhancement of the other. If we think of the Sephirot on the black and white pillars as being complements of each other, forming three complete units by their combined dyads, we shall be making a practical approach to the problem of the pillars. Here we are at the negative pole of the Hode-Netzah combination, which has a feminine potency. To a superficial inquirer, this feminine polarity associated with a Sephira having a Hermes attribution may strike an apparently false note, especially since Venus is attributed to the Netzah end of the combine, which is masculine. Anyone may be forgiven who fancies they have been accidentally or intentionally transposed. This is not so. No living being in this world is 100% male or female. The sex of the body should be dominant in every person, but unless an opposite polarity existed in them, they would be unthinkable creatures. We might as well try and visualize a stick with only one end, or a sheet of paper having only one side. Neither can exist without the other as an expressed entity. It is a question of both or nothing. Male and female potencies can only exist by themselves as pure principles on the other side of the abyss. Even so, such a separation is for the purpose of recombination at another point. At Hode, therefore, we have the picture of the female potentials behind a male Hermes presentation, which of course is reversed at Netzah. It was largely this insistence on feminine attributions within the structure of divinity itself that made Kabbalism a heretical doctrine to Orthodox Jewry, much as Gnosticism was abhorrent to Christians for the same reason. The Kabbalah and the Tree of Life is full of sex symbolism because life as we know it is inseparable from sex in one form or another. Bodily sex is transcendable, but spiritual sex remains right up to the absolute. Hence the concept of gods and goddesses in the human mind, which at its inception at Hod on the tree has the male-female idea firmly implanted in it by Hermes. This is the message he brings to mankind. Look for the woman in the man and the man in the woman, and you will find the truth of both. It is actually this dual nature of humanity that results in mind and soul. In each individual, the two potentials seek each other, and search brings with it an experience which develops the whole being. A male looking for the female in himself discovers soul. A female seeking the male in her meets with mind. This is simply a basis. With developed and evolved individuals, the process is far more complex and interchangeable. In the Asaya world of Hod, then, we have the overall concept of mind evolving as a result of both sexes and one person seeking each other and extending the search through the complementing potential of other individuals and sources of energy. The force flow of the power circuit at this point of the tree is female to male or negative to positive. This circuit is completed, of course, at Netzah, where the flow is returned in a positive-negative manner, so completing the cycle of energy. An analogy of two ordinary electrical cells connected in series with each other will illustrate this quite neatly. There are many such circuits to be found on the tree. Leaving Hermes with his uplifted staff of life around which are twined a pair of copulating vipers to guard the mundane expressions of Hod, we will now meet the angels designed to this Sephira as yet Zeero, world of formation, angels, or the Beni Elohim. But that is for you to read yourself. So, that much said, that's The Ladder of Lights by William G. Gray. Do look him up on Goodreads and check out all his books and read all the reviews and whatnot of them. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of good information and maybe, this and that, such things. So hit the subscribe button and let people know that I exist. And also, there's this thing we do on this show. It's called a Hot Rockin' Outro. And guess what? Here's one for you right now. All right, later, kids.